Okay, today we are going to see about the resource repository manager, right? So in POM, we say the dependencies. The dependencies will be downloaded from the repository. We have it here, right? The repositories you may maintain. You say it here. It is from Nexus repository, or you will say that it is from MuleSoft repository most of the time. Then that repository you will refer it in your Maven. The Maven you will see it here. The preferences, if you go. Anypoint Studio, sorry. So Maven, you can see if you're using the Anypoint Studio version more than 7, you will have a embedded version of Maven. So if you want to override any of the, what I'm doing here. I'm asking to use this Maven to build this project, right? So let's go here and see the configuration file. This configuration file is pretty important, because where we will say that we will say you connect to this repository, whatever the repository they are asking, but you use this credentials. That credentials will be we will say it in the server. So if you see here, I have a server credentials mentioned here. That is username is admin and admin 123 shift 1. This one is local to me, but typically we'll say the MuleSoft enterprise username password here. So if you go to the profile section, it's the same. We will have it here. This profile is Nexus, and the URL is this one.
It's a local repository.
Now it is a local repository. It is a MuleSoft enterprise repository. So
Baranee, I just have a question. So is it related to the Anypoint Studio where we have or a Maven repository? Basically, every company have their own Maven repository. So this is an authentication to pull the data from your own company's repository, correct?
Right. Rather, every time you go and pull the jar files from the Maven public repository or enterprise repository, every enterprises tend to have their own repository. So the developers inside the enterprise, they will use this repository to pull their jars, the commonly used jars. Or in this video, what I'm going to show, I will have, if I am developing a project, I will have some common set of jars. That jar files, I will have it in my server. I will use it. Right?
Baranee, what is the advantages of having the repository of our own or having?
See, for example, my jar files, where I'll keep it and share. I will keep it in my local server, and this is not going to be in enterprise server, right? For example, I have a common logging server as a jar that I don't want to I have to keep it in this server locally, and every developer will share it from there when we build it, right?
Okay.
That is one scenario.
The same thing will be provided by MuleSoft also, right?
No, MuleSoft will provide their supporting jars, right? They will not provide if we are creating one. That time also
project related.
Right, project related. That's what I said, the common jars. Even also, every time you don't have to go there and collect it. It's like sometimes some companies will have a proxy. So you don't have to bother about this one. You have keep it in local and get that.
Okay.
Yeah, that is why we use. So I have started in my project. I use Azure repository artifact. That one to store my jars and fetch it from other project. But I will start with the Nexus. Nexus is the commonly used repository manager tool. So I have installed it here locally. Okay. So the common so here again the little trick is I have used Docker. So you can install Nexus in Docker. So how to use this is Docker and Nexus. If you put, it will give you a few commands. You have to run that one, and your Docker will be ready. Your Docker image to run Nexus will be ready. See, this is the one. So this port you can listen. I have changed the port to 8089, so that's why it's showing like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So Docker installation you have to learn to run this one. First, you need to install Docker in your machine, local machine. Like then you run like this. Then this will respond with set of help commands. Then you can ensure that the Docker is installed. The Docker, you have to pull an image by running that command. First of all, to pull the Nexus image, you have to use this command, right? So once you pull it, you can see the images like that. These are the images. One of the images is here like this. To run this image, you have to use Docker run using this command. Okay. So once you run this one, you can use Docker PS. PS is it will list number of running instances. Then you have to you can go into the Docker and run a bash command like Docker -t-m that
-T or -R?
-t. Sorry. Okay. This one. Then bin bash. Okay. Veeramani also joined.
Good. Joined.
Good. Hey, Veeramani, stop us like when you're whenever you have questions. Okay. I'm sorry.
Just started. Is someone recording the session?
Yeah, I'm recording the session.
You are sharing recording, right?
Yeah, I'll share the recording. That is also fine. Wait, I am not good at this commands, so I have commands here. Bin bash, that is correct. -t-exec. I missed -exec. Okay.
But you share that file. It will be useful for us. Commands.
Yeah. Also, we are inside the Docker now. That is what is the meaning of this one is we are inside the Nexus 3 now. So put ls. First time you have to fetch the password. That password you will be like. If you search in here, they are saying that this is Nexus 3 page. They're saying the default username is admin. The uniquely generated password for this instance, you will get it from the admin password file inside the volume. So that you can see it here. Once you get that, I have changed my project. That's why it's gone. So if you go to the CD Nexus data, here one file will be there. From there you can take it actually. I will show you once that this demo is over. Okay. So yeah. So then you can go here and run this website as like this. Then log in into an admin. I have logged in. Now we can see the repositories available. I have created one repository here that is called local Maven Baranee. That repository is having a project here. How this project has come here is, I will show you that now. So this project is the one you're seeing here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to delete this folder. Success. Refresh. Okay, no, nothing is there. So now I'm going to exit from here. I'm going to this folder. I'm going to say mv and deploy. What it is going to do, it's going to push the jar file, which is the output of this project. It will push into my local repository. I have reloaded this one, so you can see that. How I can do that? Once I create a new project, I have to go to the POM file, and I have to define a distribution management. And I have to say the repository this URL, which I get it from the, sorry, let me go to the repository. My repository, the URL was there actually. Yeah, copy this URL, that's the URL. This URL I have to give into the POM file here and the rest of the elements. So once I have this one, I can just run it and say mvn deploy. There are 3 commands, right? One is clean install, which will build this project and keep the jar ready in the target directory. Then I can move from the target directory to the local server or from any remote server, mvn deploy. So this will push into your local repository. So this, for example, you are having lots of common jar files that you have pushed it here. Now you wanted to you wanted to use it in another project. For that, okay, before that I have forgot one. So once you have this, once you add this repository here, it will ask you the password. That password, that's where I was saying. Okay, let me show. Go to the preferences here. Let's copy it from here, the whole directory. So this configuration, this setting file, the setting file I was showing to you guys. Yeah. So this file has a profile of this with the same URL and having the server. So this is my password for my local server. So based on this one, if I remove it from here, it will say I cannot deploy it. Sorry, not from here. Let me do that. Yeah, from here, if I remove it, it's gonna say, I don't know, I don't have a password, my authentication is denied. If I say mvn deploy here, it failed with 401 now, right? So this is one of the point I want to show you. Now I have saved this one, mvn deploy. It is done. Another one I wanted to show you, that from here, this is related to Nexus, nothing else. So if I say disable redeploy, my version is the final. You cannot redeploy it, but you can just use it in the other project. So if I say mvn deploy, it will say 400 error. The repository does not allow you for updating the asset. So this is how I will not allow anyone to update my jar. If I am the responsible person, I can make it like this, in this way. So this is how this is. Okay, now the publish part is done. Now it's about subscribe part. So what I will do, I will close this project. So if you see my POM, this POM having a group ID, artifact ID, and version, which I have to use it in my the subscriber, the publisher, subscriber. He is the subscriber. He wanted to use one of the flow which is there in this one. Usually how it would be, we will be having a domain project in on-premise. We will be having one domain project which nobody will is allowed to change it until they have a reason, right? So that time they will use this sort of thing. They will put the jar there. They will refer the jar as a domain project. Now what we are doing, we are not doing anything like that. So I'm having a normal jar file. Probably I wanted to use that jar file's flow in here. So for that, what I have done here, I have defined a dependency. So this is my dependency, which I have copied it from there, right? The other POM, the original POM. So that POM, I have it here. I'm saying it's a Mule application I wanted to refer, and that's it.
Didn't you put as a plugin, Baranee, on the sample project there in the other form?
No, it's not a plugin. It's a actual Mule application.
So we are not using as a plugin, right? We are just going to external application here, right?
Right. That depends on your type of the application when you package it. So if it is a domain project, it will come as a Mule domain project.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how this project is being built. Now I'm saying I'm going to use this dependency, load it from this repository. Right? This repository's credential is in setting.xml. That is the reference I'm keeping. So I wanted to build this project. So this guy has taken the sample pro use sample. I'm just checking whether it is getting the right one. That we can check it from here. If you see here, the sample project we have got it from, and it's loaded here. Right, so this is being successfully got downloaded. You can see the downloaded, how many times it's been downloaded, those things here. Not here. Yeah. So this is what I had it for Nexus. Do you have any question? So what to summarize this one, I had two projects. One is sample project, one is sample pro use. This one I have built it and put it in my repository. In this project, I have used that project, and right, I have used this one here. I have shown you the setting.xml. Did I do anything special in this project? It was pretty straightforward. To get in terms of installation of this project, this one, it was so easy because of this page. You don't have to refer anywhere. Also, they have a video tutorial.
So related to Docker.
This Docker installation. See, if you want to install the same in your machine, you need an approval basically, because Nexus is not free. Nexus Pro version also is there. But if you install it in Docker, there is no trace. You can just swipe it by killing that version. So that is why I prefer to use, for any reason, we will use Docker only. Docker, kill and remove, that image is gone. So for this way, you can have, if you see my images, I have it for SFTP as well. So the SFTP which is available, which is inside my container Docker, right? So I can kill it. Otherwise, I have to worry about the license. See, I have a SQL Server version running here. I can use it in my Mule anypoint, right? So that's why the Docker is very important for me, actually, at least.
Okay.
So I will go here. I will put on connector. I can connect. I can write SQL queries here. I can test it. I think one of the video Manik sir has mentioned that it is a preferred way of testing. You're writing integration test or unit test, which is he's saying that it's a preferable way of testing your code, because if you go to the DB connector, you will have query, but you are not sure whether it will be running or it's changed when you check in, right? Multiple developers are checking in. That time you are not sure whether it is changed or not. It will run, or you have put a extra comma over there and it's been checked in, something like that. So if you have it locally and if your unit test fails, then you will be 100% sure this has failed, or you'll be running in production for sure, right? So this demo is done. Other demo I wanted to show it is in Azure. In Azure DevOps, we have something called artifacts. So in Azure, we have repositories. If you log into, I will go to my home page first. This is my Azure homepage. I have a demo account here. That is my dev account. So I have created a project called my own. In my own, I can have wiki, anything, right? So I can have board, it's like a Kanban board or it's agile board, where I will be having epics features first, epics second, then I'll be having user stories. From there, I will be managing it. The repo is the one where I will be checking in my code. For example, I have a SAM proj, SAM1, this sample one, those things that I have checked in here. So I'll be working on here. This is behind the scene. We are using Git here. I have pipelines. Pipelines is the one where we create. It's a way of automating CI/CD. CI/CD releases. We have build. We can write build definition, release definition here, so that the build will build the Maven project, and the sorry, what's the one? The other one will deploy it there. Right now, the other one I'm saying it's an artifacts, which is here I can say. Okay, I have to rush it here. Okay, so here I will create jar file. This one, new feed. I can say it's a new feed. Create a feed. It will come something similar. If you go here, there is something called security. I'm sorry, I think it's not related to this one. Go to the artifact. See here, I have an artifact. To use that artifact, I have to use this one. But before that, I will show you what is the project structure. Let me close this one related to Nexus. I will open the ProSAM, which is the jar file. I wanted to put it in, in Azure. The ProSAM, I wanted to put it here. And this Pro use, which I wanted to load the jar from the Azure directory and to use it, right? The same way, it is very similar. So I will be having POM file here. That POM file says it's a distribution management, which will come from my Azure. Okay.
Okay.
This is very similar. There's nothing different.
Same concept.
Same concept.
Putting it in Docker.
Right.
Okay.
With that, in Azure, Microsoft handles that one. Right. What I'm doing, I'm going to the ProSAM. I'm saying ambient deploy. That means that it will push the jar file. It will build this jar file from ProSAM. It will push into the Azure, right?
Yes.
So this will give some more picture. We don't have to maintain this one first of all. This will act as a okay. There are some errors because we don't have a. It's not authenticated. Right? If it's saying something else. It's saying amino tests are failed. I don't have I don't think I have amino tests here. Let me clear it if I have.
See, I'm version 2.2.
Yeah, but probably it is. Cannot start them. Let me restore the directory. This one. Let me go to the preference. Preference. Copy this one. rename it. Okay, let me build it again. Before that, let me put clean install so that it will build the project from start. Hopefully, yeah, this one is done. Then it should be done. Actually, probably that version is having some crap. So this, if you see, this package is being downloaded from here, right? Almost all of them is downloaded from here.
From Azure.
Yeah, from Azure. But it's all about the ProSam previous jar file. So what was the special about this jar, this POM file, this content? Content dot, sorry, the setting.xml. The server, if you see, I had Nexus 2 as well. My this jar file. See, this one is from, this is my Azure jar, this one name. I have got the password. That's what I wanted to show you. I've got this password from connect to the feed. Yeah, if you see this one, connect to feed will brought something here. This will say my repository name. I have to just copy it over. It's saying put it in the distribution. Go add this to your project POM file inside both repositories and the distribution elements. It's said inside setting.xml, right? It's saying that put in the repository also in the distribution management this content. But what about this credential? Generate Maven credentials will include that. So this one you have to put it in this one. This is how I got that one, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're going to publish the artifacts to Maven, sorry, from Maven to here, you have to use this command. Everything is given here properly. So that's how I added the. So it is successful now. Ambient deploy has successfully published that. Is that okay? Let me do ambient deploy. I think I have almost done. Do you have any questions?
Nothing, Baranee.
Super.
So for installing the Maven, right? For any project, you are doing a clean install in the local, and then you're deploying into the Azure or Nexus.
Yeah.
You're showed in both.
Yeah, in both I have shown.
Okay.
So if
for
you
the second project, you want to get from that Nexus or Azure, we can the settings in the preference like any studio, and we can run the project.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Okay, this time I will show you how to install Nexus, right? That I can show you now. I'll put Control C. Doesn't matter actually.
Okay.
Docker images. Once you have Docker images, first let me remove it, then I'll put it. Yeah.
Okay.
Veeramani. Okay. Okay, I have images that I can. Let also I'll pull it now. Let's see. Okay, this is what the one is. This guy. Copy. Docker images. I think RMI will be that's command. It's referenced by this image. So Docker rm remove this command. Okay, now what I have. Okay, I have installed a new. See, this one. I have removed my image. Now I have installed a new one. This is where my Docker image. I'm going to run this image. For that, I have to go to the. So this is pretty straight. First one will work for us. Just put it here. Let me run in 8091. So it's successfully running now. Docker exec -t-i. If you remember my, okay, before that, I need the process ID, Docker ps. Just copy it. Docker exec -t-i. Paste it. Then bash. This is now if you go ls cd nexus data ls. So this is where first time if you install Nexus, this is where your admin password will be there. So this is your password. Copy it from bash. From here. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, my password is, I got it. Now I'll go to the browser. Now I'm running it in 8091. Reminding I don't want it. Okay. If you first time you browse this one, you will not be logged in. So sign in here. Also, you cannot do any uploads or create repositories using this page. So I have to I have to log in. I'm sorry. I have to paste this thing. Okay. Now I am in. It's asking the user will help you to the set up next steps. Next step is this one, where I will put my desired password. Now I'm done. I'm in as well. Now I can upload them. I have two default repositories where I can upload anything. For example, I'll create one. This is how I was doing for this exercise. Go to here, repositories, create repository. Go for if we are going to put a proxy of enterprise Mule, then you have to choose this one. Otherwise, hosted one. This is how I created local Baranee repo something, and create repository. Go inside. Go to home. Upload something here. Upload to here. For example, if I have to upload some jar files, I have to put a group ID. Since I don't know the group ID for this one, I'll select something else. Or I will take it from here. If you want to manually add it, I will do that. Otherwise, I will go to the. Now I am showing the manual one. This won't work properly. Let me go to documents. Anypoint Studio. Workspace. What was the name? Pro sample project. If you see the target, there will be jar file always. You can take the group ID from here. Upload. The upload has been completed. Now so you can load your jars like this. That's all, guys. First.
Okay.